Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do this reading and dedicate this reading to BTS member Taehyung or B. Um, Actually, because today I watched their concert online, Permission to Dance, and I truly enjoy it. I loved the performances. I loved the selection of the songs, the atmosphere. Everything was beautiful, and it connected me once again with the joy of being an army and of enjoying their music. And also like reminding myself that they do have so many amazing songs. Like they have a lot of songs. So this was a great experience, but as we know, at least I wasn't aware that actually that Tay was injured, or he had like some kind of pain in his bones, like in his leg, in a part of his leg, that I cannot remember what is called in English, so I will not pronounce it, or I will not try, but I'm sure the fans know the details. And I paid very much attention to him. He looked flawless, amazing. They all did. But I wanted to dive in a little more about Tae's energy. This is why I wanted to do this reading for him, almost like taking it from an energetic level. Because I believe that it's not a coincidence that he had this kind of problem with his bones, or this kind of pain in his bones, in his legs. I think that it's a kind of message about how he's feeling about his sense of a structure in his life. You know that in the couple of weeks, I believe it was last week, where there was like this rumor, these pictures, these like people talking about his private life, talking about what he was doing, who he was hanging out with, if it was a female or not, who, and also like attacking, unnecessarily attacking this person that was with him. That it was a group of people, but well, there was a female involved, so you know. So I wanted to do, I think I was able to pick up everything, and I was like, oh, it makes sense that just a few moments from him actually like reuniting with the audience, he would start to feel some kind of pain. And I'm going to explain why. We know that Tae's energy, astrological energy, is that he is a Capricorn. He's a Capricorn with a moon in Aries. So he also has a Mars in Capricorn. So you know his response when all these rumors started to happen and all these people's lives were affected by these rumors, and I'm sure himself. And he has expressed a few messages with a bit of sarcasm and irony, to not be a straightforward, blunt, and honest and rude, but actually he wanted people that caused this uh, to feel bad about what they did, because he wanted to call them out. But of course, he didn't want to sound like out of control, because I think that Tay is someone that he feels so much inside, and just like he can feel a lot of love and gratitude for fans, at the same time he is the kind of person that if you surpass his limits, or if you want to go beyond your limits, or beyond, or you want to like like um like go beyond like what you have permitted, he will put you in your place. because he is a true Capricorn. He will put people in his place. And at the same time, him with the moon in Aries, he's someone that he's very reactionary. He's very blunt and honest. So, strong emotions, especially anger, for a moon in Aries or any strong placements in Aries, are very easy to connect to. So it doesn't mean that he will remain angry. Actually, no, it's just a burst, a moment, like a little flame, that just lights up. And then once he expresses this anger, it is gone. It's like he moves on. He's not someone that holds grudges against people. But if he feels in that moment that you done him wrong, he will call you out. And I believe this is what he did with all these people's like being intrusive. So you know that Capricorn rules the part of the bones in the body. So me being a Capricorn as well, Sun and Rising, I had gone through instances in my life where whenever I was going through some kind of stress, very stressful moments, or some moments where there were a lot of demands or there were a lot of responsibilities that I had to attend, and that somehow I was like, yes, putting my body, putting my energy, but somehow I wasn't really comfortable. I wasn't being honest with myself. So I think that in the case of Tay, given that from what I could read from the information or the statement that was released, it was that he wasn't like, there was no fracture, there was like no sign of him actually having like some kind of injury. It was just like a sudden pain in his bones. So this means that with proper rest, he can recover very well. But it does make, in an energetic sense, it does make sense. Because sometimes it talks about the weight we carry in ourselves, especially when we take responsibilities, when we take a lot of work, when we take a lot of things to do, and we say yes to everything. But deep inside, we, in our emotional world, or maybe in our own minds, we are not okay. So probably he's still carrying on inside some kind of anger or some kind of frustration about what happened with these rumors, or with these pictures, like, and people talking about it, and making a huge chaos about this. So I think that it makes sense that he couldn't perform like he would want to, because it's like his body is talking to him, like some kind of resistance, because he is a Capricorn, so he will get the job done at the end. I think that it always amazes me, actually, Tay's stamina, because I think that from all the years that I have been in army, I have seen different members like having like injuries, or having these instances where they couldn't perform because of some kind of pain. But in the case of Tay, I never seen him like getting sick. Actually, yes, I did see instances where he lost his voice, where he was having a very strong cold and he was taking medicine while being on the road. But it seems like when it comes to his physical, his bone structure, he's very strong. And he is someone that it seems like he's very stable in his stamina, in his energy, that he doesn't lose it that easily. It's not easy to see Tay like sitting down, for example. I mean, like laying on the floor, like panting and like having trouble breathing or catching his breath. He seems like to recover energy pretty easily. But now that this has happened, I wanted to do this reading for him to see how he's doing, how he's dealing with all these repercussions about this that happened, and how doing with his own objectives, his own goals in his personal life. So let's see what the tarot and the cards, the oracle of the chakras, has to say about this. So the cards that came out is the Nine of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Three of Cups, and the Prince of Swords. Then the cards that came out from the Oracle of the Chakras is the card of stagnation, enlightenment, and facade. So yes, very, very interesting. I'm going to start by talking about this Nine of Wands. Um, Definitely Tay, it's a very hardworking person. I believe that I think that last time I read for him, I was talking about, I mentioned that he was doing some kind of business with someone, probably like lending money or helping some family members like build a kind of business of their own. I see him like very concentrated in like finishing a lot of projects that he has of his own. I see him here also with the strengths that he definitely wants to see results. So probably he is investing in something. I don't know what it is, but he is like investing in something big, or like having like some kind of deal with someone that is going to give him the opportunity to gain a lot of more money. Um, and I also see him like very committed and very focused on him achieving wellness. I think that he is the kind of person, I always have talked about Tay, and I always mention that Tay is the kind of person that you cannot get in the way of his ambitions. You cannot get in the way of what he wants to achieve, whatever it is, whether it's financial stability, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's, I don't know, like traveling somewhere. He is someone that if he sets his mind into something, he will not give up until he achieves it. So I think that was what happened here with these rumors and all these pictures and the invasion of his privacy is actually giving him more strength to actually keep moving forward with his dreams. I think that he wants to find joy in his life. He wants to celebrate more. He wants to keep hanging out with the people that bring him joy. He wants to keep celebrating. He wants to keep having fun. He wants to keep laughing. He wants to keep investing in relationships that provide him this joy. So he's not going to stop seeing people, or he's not going to stop reuniting or gathering with people because he has people around him like telling him like, no, maybe you should be more careful. Maybe you shouldn't have girlfriends in the sense of having female friends, or a romantic partner. I don't know. It's like he is someone that if this happens again, if someone tries to invade his privacy and also harass his friends, he's going to continue to fight these people. And next time he's going to be harsher. Next time he's going to take like harsher and like more inflexible repercussions for these people. He's going to take action. He's actually not going to stop until he He cuts people that are following him or are trying to get information from him and from people around him, and he's going to drag these people to court. Because I see the Prince of Swords here, like being really, really angry and really like very overprotective over his people. I think he is really upset. He's really upset. He's containing himself. This is why I think that this muscular or this muscle pain or this pain in his knees or in the lower part of his legs, that represents how he stands in life. You know, bones are important for us, especially for someone that performs standing and performs with his whole body strength. You know, he needs his bones. So if his bones start hurting, it's a signal that there's something that is not stable in his life, or he feels threatened by the same people that love him. You know, because this happened when he had to perform for army. So this is not that he is angry at army. Actually, he's not angry at his fans, but he's angry at people that call themselves army and are actually like trying to sabotage him somehow. I don't know if it's solo stance. I don't know if it's like the shippers. I don't know who these people are, but these people call themselves army, quote unquote. And they are doing this. They are provoking this. This is why when he had to meet the fans, he had this kind of physical reaction. At least this is what I can sense from the cards. But he had been controlling. This is why this came up all of the sudden, because he had been holding on, like keeping his anger to himself. You know, he's like, okay, you need to let it go. Everything will be all right. We will be all right. You don't have to be. He was really angry, so he's trying to contain, like not to bring the subject again, not to like be passive aggressive, you know, but he was really angry this time. So he's protecting these bonds, he's protecting his friends, he's protecting his acquaintances, and he's also protecting his rights to be able to have fun with other people that is not from work or work related. Because yes, he's a Capricorn, but we Capricorn people do not live in our offices all day. We want to socialize sometimes, especially him, that he is a moon in Aries, and he's also a Venus in Aquarius. So he is a rebel at heart, and he wants to have many friends. He wants to have a lot of different friends from different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different genders. So if you are against that, then you will be disappointed and you will have to go cry in a corner, because he will keep hanging out with people that he cares about. And it doesn't matter if it's rich, poor, like middle class, it doesn't matter. He doesn't want to hide. He doesn't want to have to worry for their friends or acquaintances' well-being, you know, of whether these people will harass or attack people that are associated with him. Do you realize how serious this is? And I think that he feels a bit frustrated because he had been a bit naive about this, about the impact of being exposed like this, probably because it hasn't happened to him in this scale, to this level. I think that the one that had suffered this the most, with all the awful consequences for the people involved, was JK, with the tattooist artist. So you know, in here we in the present day we have this situation with Tay. But Tay fought back, and he's going to continue to fight back. He's going to put people in their places, and I think that he wants to do that. He wants to do that. Like, it doesn't matter if you consider him rude. He's going to set like a president. He's going to send boundaries because he's not a puppet for you to play around with him. He's a human being, and he's also he had devoted his whole youth to his job, to be working, to provide for his family, to provide for a lot of people, to have people around him have jobs. So, I think he's giving a lot to the community, actually. And, I think he's doing well. But it's like he cannot have friends. Like, he cannot have fun. He cannot. It's like, I can totally get his frustration. I can feel it in my body, and I'm like, yes, like, go after them. Like, and I think he's going to also do this in purpose, that he's going to keep hanging out with females, so he will trigger more people. Really. I think he will do it. And besides, there's something about Tay, that Tay communicates really well with females. So it's possible that he has a lot of female friends, more than males, actually. Because he connects well with females. And yes, some of them, someone could be like a special someone, but I believe he has a lot of people around him. I don't see anyone in particular, actually. I see him that he has a lot of friends, so people will have to accustom to see him like that. Then the oracle cards, it's the card of, well, I said stagnation, enlightenment, and facade. So he wants to get out of the claustrophobic environment of having to live in a building or in a tower or in somewhere. He wants to go out. He wants to travel. He wants to get out of routine. And it's not that he doesn't enjoy the members' company. They are his family. But at the same time, he wants to experience other things. He wants to expand his mindset. He wants to connect with nature. He wants to do activities that allow him to get out of the routinary self. He wants to do something else that just that working. He wants to, because I think that there's something about Tay, and maybe this has to do with his mixtape and the fact that we still don't have it. It's because he has lost touch with his creative, with his creativity. And I think that Tay is someone that he needs to travel, he needs to go out in the world in order to connect with his creative self. So I think that he wants to go out more, he wants to play more, he wants to laugh more, but without the cameras, with the cameras off. Because probably you're like, oh yes, but they are in the soup and they are in Bon Voyage. And it's not the same. There's camera on. So as long as the cameras are on, it's equals work, And I totally get that they probably are one, if not the only boy group or band that is actually very, very honest about themselves and who they are in front of a camera. But still, there's like, he needs to be free. He doesn't want people following him around all day, like having to be like, oh, where's Tay, we have to shut this, like we have to film this, like he just wants to be him. And then with the card of the facade, yes, there's a part of him that actually he feels fake sometimes, and I think I can understand this pretty well, because the card of the facade, if you see here, you see like an adult holding the hand of a child. So I think that this is very reminiscent of his song, Inner Child. I think he wants to connect with his inner child. I think that he had been so caught up in responsibilities lately and worrying so much about his career, that he has lost touch with his inner child, and that in moments of like this, in moments of feeling pressure, feeling angry, feeling frustrated, and feeling Like there are a lot of people trying to cut his wings, and don't let him be who he is or do what he pleases. I think that he just needs to connect with something that can help him feel free and reach a certain level of enlightenment. I think he's running out of ideas creatively. He's looking for inspiration. This is why he goes to these museums. This is why he's learning new instruments. This is why he's listening to different music, because he wants to connect with creativity. But at the same time, it's like creativity, it seems like it's running away from him, because he needs to connect with his true self. And in order to do that, he needs to live life with the cameras off, away from the cameras, and with the people he chooses to be. He, and I think that for a famous person, probably this is very, it gives him anguish, it gives him anxiety. It makes him feel distressed because he cannot control this. They are huge, they are very popular. So I don't think he will reach this level of freedom that he desires. But he will try it. He's very perseverant. So he's not, like I mentioned in the beginning, you cannot get in the way of what he wants to achieve, because he will kick you out of his way. Whether you are a fan or a hater, whoever, you cannot stand in his way. He will achieve what he wants from his heart. So this is what I love Tay, and I love reading for him, and I wish him the best, because I know he will succeed. I know that he will recover. I know that he will fight for his dreams and for whatever he wants to build for himself. But I just want to let you know that this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of Tay putting people in his place, in their place, because he's fed up, really. So let's be kind. Let's be kind with all the members. With all the members, they are great artists. They are really hardworking. All K-pop idols are hardworking. I'm sorry, are hardworking. But you know that BTS has like a lot of weight on their shoulders. So they are doing great, but they definitely need like healthy boundaries, and people need to protect them more. So yes, guys, this is all I have for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I would also love to read what you think about this subject. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.